So when we get to the real concepts of what's happened to society, whether it's ours or any other society, it's always the same concept. You have been taught what we call in animal husbandry imprinted. You guys like to call it brainwashing. It's not truly brainwashing, it's imprinting. This concept is like hitting Pavlov's dog in the head with Pandora's box. Okay? When you look at Pavlov's dog, the trick was just constantly repeating something, and the dog couldn't help but do it. When the bell rang, the dog jumped. We all know the concept. So society is based on the pretext that you must run around and tell everybody who you are. That's what you do constantly. That's all you do with your life. You run around, get pulled over by a cop, you tell them who you are. You sign up for something, you tell them who you are. You go through your life, and all you ever do with your whole life, ever, at any and all instances, for anything, is tell people who the hell you are. The one thing in life you're not allowed to do is tell anybody who you are. See, we're backwards. This was done on purpose. Who must inform the authorities of who he is so that he is safe? Yes. Who said that? Yes. That's a slave's job. Best story I can think of. It's an old story. The sheriff comes to the castle. Knocks on the door. The gentleman's gentleman answers the door and looks, and it's the sheriff. And the sheriff says, "Is your master at home?" And he said, "Yes, I'll go get him." And the manservant goes and gets the master. And the master comes to the door. The sheriff says, "My posse and I have found the body of a young maiden on your land. What say you?" The master says to him, "Tell me, Sheriff, were you poaching or trespassing when you found the young maiden's body?" Do you understand the issue here? It's not, I don't need to deny, I don't care what you found on my land. What the hell are you doing on my land? Everything we're taught is backwards. You would answer the door and say, "I don't know," or "I've never seen her before," or, "she was going out with such and such," or "Why was she on my land?" That's not your job. Now, you'll do that because you're Pavlov's dog and you've been trained to do that. You'll do that in every aspect of your life. You run around telling everybody who you are. It's not your job. That's the slave's job. And because of that, all this patriot stuff, that's all based on it. Secured party creditor. I got to tell somebody I'm a secured party creditor. Sovereign. I got to tell somebody I'm a sovereign. I don't have to tell anybody who I am. And as soon as I do, I'm wrong. I know who I am. It is incumbent upon me to discover who you are. It is not my relationship to you that should ever be a concern of mine. I know who I am. I know that I will do whatever I can to help you. I know that I have risked my life to save dozens, if not hundreds of people. I know that I will treat you well. I know that I will not steal from you. I know that out of 32 prisoners selected to testify against your Arpaio, the only one that survived that torture long enough to go back 4 times. So I know who I am. What I don't know is who you are and what your relationship is to me. I know that this gentleman understands English. We had that conversation earlier. But do I know his relationship? Is he somebody here to learn this stuff to go out and sell it? Is he somebody here to learn this stuff to go out and help people? I don't know. But I don't need to inform anybody of my relationship to them. I need to discover their relationship to me. The first thing that any of you will do in any situation, and we're taught it's even part of politeness, is to introduce yourself, explain who you are, blah, blah, blah. Then sign some forms saying, you know, what you've got, how much it's worth. Find out if they agree through a credit report that you're really this good of a guy. Because once you've told them who you are, now they get to establish the relationship. Now, you'll think you'll understand this. People do, and you don't. But it'll sit in your mind and it will fester. And you will start going, why? Why is everything in my life about me telling people who I am when I know who I am? Could it be so that I don't know who I am and they get to tell me who I'm going to be? Do you see the problem, people? Do you really know who you are? How many people in this room think they know who they are? Okay, so at least 10 of you are wrong. What's that? Yes. And how do you know if you're right? Because your opinion agrees with mine. We've already established that. Okay. Now, that is a concept that you think that maybe you got. That is your mistake. Listen to me. I'm right. I'm just funny that way. So take that little tidbit of knowledge that is life-changing and let it sink in. You do not know who you are. It's not possible. I've been doing this since I was a kid. So I didn't have to grow up with all that misinformation that you all got. And I have a hard time completely understanding the concept. You do not understand the concept. That I guarantee you. But it will work. And it will show you different things going on around you. Let it do that. This is not a bad thing. This is a very important, very good thing. Just like when you read the documents now and you know it's all a scam and you know you never received the loan, you will start going, oh, now I get why that judge said that. Hundreds and hundreds of people read the decision by Judge Kravitz in D.C. court in Connecticut on June 11th. And I had to hear from a bunch of them. You know, they're blowing away the Patriot Mids, blah, blah, blah. And I said, okay, well, just go to this paragraph and read just this paragraph. And then they go, oh, my God. The judge just said everything you've taught is completely true. One person got it. Cindy got it because she's had to listen to me so much. You know, you should just have pity for people. Yeah, exactly. You know, but nobody else did it first until we started explaining it, and those that have spent more time studying this, they started getting it. It's the concept being that you will see things through the glasses you choose to wear. Okay? Mike and I, we're constantly the glasses back and forth. Usually he brings them. I don't bring them, so I got to borrow his. They're a little bit off, but, you know, so I got to adjust them. If you go through life and you've got the wrong glasses on, you're going to see things off a little kilter. So what we're trying to do here as far as the mortgage stuff is give you the right prescription. Yes. We'll wait that till the mock court. Well, and no, I can't tell you who you are. I mean, I could. You're right. That's what we're actually discussing. That's what we're discussing. I don't know how you could miss that, but, you know, maybe I need another Jack and Coke. I don't know. And, yeah, maybe he does. Get on my plane, okay? Yes.
Does this have anything to do with why our names are all capitalized when we receive letters from the government in quotes?
Let me answer that in a very legal sense. Yes and no. It can, but then again, it may not. And it probably does, but it shouldn't. And it won't, but it could. It very well can. But most of the time it doesn't. And why would it? That's one of those patriot things. Does it matter? How would it matter? You're talking about the copyright name thing. Remember, the copyright, patent, trademark. United States Patent, Trademark Office, copyrights, all that's in the same thing. If you get a copyright, which you probably didn't, and you thought you did, but I doubt it, because you can't. And if you could, you wouldn't, because it wouldn't do you any good, and you'd be liable for doing so, because you couldn't never do anything you can't do. And really, that's how law works. And I've taught law, and that's how law works. When I was slapping this federal judge around, I said, "You're asking me to do something impossible." She's like, "Well, I can't do that." Well, you're finally right about something, thank God. That the point being that this whole capital letter thing is viable in certain circumstances. Have y'all looked at the so-called driver's license? Your driver's license? You realize it's not your driver's license, right? It belongs to the government. It's all in capital letters. Why? Do you have any idea? You're close. How can you argue about it? No, there is no copyright on a name. No. How can you argue about that name being all capital letters on their driver's license? It's not your driver's license. Let them do whatever they want with their driver's license. You are holding their driver's license for them. There's all kinds of patriot stuff. Don't give them your license. How can they ask you for ID? It's not your ID. You're holding it for them. There again. Do the Amish run around telling people who they are? You ever met an Amish person? Do they have a driver's license? Do they tell you who they are? Do they not try to discover who you are and how they can help you? Instead of slapping you around telling you how important they are and blah, blah, blah. We were brainwashed, imprinted, just like in animal husbandry, to behave in a certain way. Hence, we are always wrong. It is our job to help each other. It is not my job to save my ass. How many people have been to combat? Actual combat. Is it your job to save your ass, or is it your job to save your platoon's ass? Okay. And if you save your platoon's ass, usually come home. Do your job. Your job is to save everybody else's butt. You run around here trying to not necessarily save your house, but trying to save all these other people's houses. How's the bank going to fight this group? There's 75 people in here. What if each one of these people went back and filled up a room with 75 people? Do the math, people. Don't save your own ass. Your job is to save other people's asses. That's the only thing that works. But you were taught to save your own ass. It won't work. Saving your own ass is pretty lonely, too. All right, guys. That's it. Tomorrow 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock, same bat time, same bat channel. We won't commence the drink until 3.